Oh! About time, jeez. Hooray! It's Smoochum. Smoochum's interesting. I can dig a Smoochum. Is Smoochum normally so pink? Is that just Crystal? What's a good name? I didn't even think about this, because, like, how could I? There's, like, 9 Pokemon this can be. Actually, I think it's, like, 7. It's like, okay, I guess I'll say this now, because I'm recording this, so the baby, there's 7, I think there's 7 babies? There's Magby, Smoochum, Elekid, there's, like, the 3 not normal babies. Then there's Cleffa, Igglybuff, and Pichu, which are like the 3 more traditional babies. Then there's also Tyrogue, who's the rarest. There's 7 babies it can be, I believe so. I don't think there's any other babies I'm forgetting. And the chance of each baby is not equal. That's why the shiny odds for each of them are actually different. Because, like, for example, I think, just off the top of my head, I think Tyrogue is a 3% chance to show up as an egg. And then there's a 1% chance to get a shiny Tyrogue, because it's like a separate... Like, basically, there's 14 different eggs you can get, and which egg you get determines, obviously, which Pokemon it is. And the chances are, obviously, like I said, not equal. So if you get, there's a 3% chance the egg you pick up is a Tyrogue, and then a 1% it's a shiny Tyrogue, right? And so forth, and it's not the same odds. Like, I think for, like, Elekid, Smoochum, and Magby, I want to say it's 6%, and I think the shiny is, like, it might be 2%, but it might also be 3%. And I think the odds are different for the other ones, too. But it actually might be higher than that, I don't remember. But, we're just going to name her Auntie, because I feel like, it's like a classic thing. That's like a classic trope, is, that your aunt that doesn't have kids, or maybe your aunt that does have kids, that loves to give their nieces and nephews smooches. Anyways, I'm not going to do an intro right now because I'm actually going to go grind Smoochum up to level... Oh, that is a shiny! What the f... I'll be honest, I had no idea this was a shiny. I could barely tell. That's hilarious. That's actually good, because the 9 shiny babies actually have 0 DVs across the board. So their stats are actually... The 9 shiny babies actually have terrible stats, which maybe in some regard kind of sucks, but... It does mean that all the babies are guaranteed to be female. Because even the shiny one is like 2 attack and then the rest are 10. I think the babies are always girls, I want to say. Maybe... No, Tyrogue is boy only. So all the other babies I think are girls, but Tyrogue is only always a boy, so... Anyways, I'm going to save. And I'm going to go grind this sucker up to, I guess, to at least 20. And then also I have to, let me double check here, before I do my intro, eventually. Let me buy some money. Because I'm going to have to grind this too. Because I want to get, which one is it? I mean, I could get the TMs too if I wanted, but, I'm kind of interested in maybe getting Cubone. Because I want all my catches to be special, and it is interesting to use a game for it, especially the Cubone, because you don't normally have Cubone this early. You don't have Cubone this early at all in Gold Silver. Actually, can you even get Cubone in Gold Silver until Kanto? Because he's in Rock Tunnel. And I think Crystal actually adds it to Victory Road. But I'm not sure if it's in Victory Road and Gold Silver. I don't remember that. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll even do Wobbuffet. I don't know. The problem with the Cubone is that I need to farm the wild ones eventually to try to get Thick Club if I could. Because, like, I mean, you don't need Thick Club, but it's like, come on. If you're using Cubone, you gotta get a Thick Club. But, I mean, I'm also gonna eventually have to farm Metal Coat to evolve Onix. So, it is what it is. Anyways, yeah. I'll see you after some grinding. A lot of grinding. Hey there, everybody. My name is Monkey Shop, one of the guys that play games. Back with some more Pokemon Crystal, and Let me tell you, if you can't tell from my voice, let me tell you, I'm dealing with a hell of a stuffy nose. Like, geez, man. It's not as bad as it was before. It's Sunday, by the way, so I can go ahead and grab return. Hell yeah. I know this. No, I'll talk about it later. But like, man, return is stupidly good. And since I'm did slots, I figured fuck it. I didn't actually end up getting the Cubone because it's like, I don't want to get a 5th member this soon. I feel like we just got Smoochum, and it's like I'm already gonna get another Pokemon. I grinded Smoochum up there to 21. Yeah, I'm dealing with a hell of a stuffy nose, and it's like, man, you know what I mean? Like, why does something like it? It's like so many things that we associate with colds are not even a result of colds. It's just our body reacting to the colds and you know, to the flu, to influenza, right? It's like our bodies decide clearly the best way to deal with this is to like you know, nerf ourselves, you know, make it impossible to breathe. A great idea, you know. Give us horrible headaches and make it impossible to do anything. Brilliant strategy. I believe this guy's Muscle, right? Love that jingle. And the nice thing about Muscle's stats aren't that great. I mean, Muscle is pretty good for Whitney. Like this is basically like the perfect trait for Whitney. It's a female Machop, so you can't get attracted. And like low kick is like pretty decent. I think he usually has Karate Chop by the time. I say he, it's a girl. You know how it is. But Muscle also has a Gold Berry. It's like the only Gold Berry you can just naturally get. Which is like not super helpful, but I like it can be nice for Whitney and for Morty. At least. Because this early on, 30 HP is actually pretty decent, especially as a held item. Ugh. I have some, let's see, what is this? A&W Zero Sugar. Finally! It's funny, because I say finally, like, if you don't know, I don't know if I've ever even mentioned this explicitly, but I'm a diet soda drinker, because, like, my family has a history of diabetes, so I try to cut sugar where I can, but I do still like soda, so... I drink diet soda for those. I have been for the last like 10 years, pretty much since I got out of high school. Actually, since before that even, so like a little bit more than 10 years, I guess. But diet soda. Sorry, I have a hell of a cough too, because like the other day I was going to work and I almost threw up in my car because I'm choking on mucus. I didn't even swallow that much. But it's just like, it doesn't matter. It just ends up in your throat anyways. And you just choke on it. It's like, why is this our body's defense mechanisms making us freaking choke on our own crap? Like, God. Oh wait, it's Sunday. I can go fight that guard. No way. I might as well do that. They both have Growlithe, I believe. So I'll swap Rocky in front, I guess. Might as well. Actually, I guess we can put Puffed Up in front. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I'm a diet soda drinker. For a long time, I even used to joke that like my insides must be stained black, because pretty much my go-tos were Pepsi Max / Coke Zero, depending on just what was on sale, and then Diet Root Beer, because the Pepsi Max and Coke Zero stuff was good, because it pretty much tasted just like it doesn't. People say it tastes the same. It doesn't taste exactly the same, obviously, but it tastes close enough that I don't really care, and it's like way less crap for you because it's not processed sugar, it's aspartame, which people love to be like, oh, but aspartame is so bad for you, and it's like, yeah, sure, but guess what? Literally, like, pretty much everything you're gonna eat that you're buying from a store has sugar in it. It's actually absurd when you look into it. You get so much sugar from stuff. It is insane. Like, the amount of aspartame you would have to, like, like, I don't know how to put this, like, the amount of, like, Coke Zero, Diet Soda, whatever you would have to drink to like get aspartame poisoning, you would have drowned yourself. Like you'd be dying from the other stuff in the soda before that. Like, no joke. Aspartame is not an issue because you're not like, there's not a lot of aspartame like flying around out there. processed sugar is worse for you and is in so much more stuff. Like, that's just how it goes. But I digress. For the longest time, like the only real option, that was like pretty much my options, because I live in Canada, so maybe we get things slower from certain places. I don't know if the States gets A&W root beer. It's like from the A&W restaurant, but like Canada seems to have like a bigger, I don't know, like it's a bigger part of our, like, I don't know how to put it, like people like it more, I guess, because we have like our own spokesman, right? The A&W guy. He's like a Canada only thing for the most part. But I digress. So because of that, for a very long time, I didn't really have a lot of options when it came to the diet root beer, until like all of a sudden out of nowhere, we suddenly finally started getting like both like there's Sprite and 7-Up Zero, which I go with 7-Up Zero because I think the Sprite 7-Up, or I digress. The wait, no, I'm saying this wrong. God, the Sprite Zero stuff doesn't taste good to me. It still tastes like crap. Whereas I think the 7-Up Zero actually tastes pretty much like 7-Up, so good enough for me. And also Dr. Pepper, which I drink the Dr. Pepper Zero like all the time. I actually really like Dr. Pepper. And it's funny because my go-to for a long time was always like one of my go-tos was the Diet Root Beer, because I found that Diet Root Beer, of all the diet drinks, Diet Root Beer tastes the closest to actual just the A&W root beer. It's not as sweet, but it's still like got like a good taste to it. And finally, like a couple weeks ago, I finally saw my first thing. It's not the bottles, which are way cheaper, but it was the cans, and it's like, fuck it. I've never seen this before, I might as well get it. And like, the funny thing is, I don't find it really taste all that much different from the regular diet. Oh crap, really? I mean, I wasn't gonna use Sudowoodo anyway, screw it. I'm not gonna reset. Anyways, I'm bringing this up because, actually, should I talk about the twins too? Oh, there's so much, but I'm bringing this up because an issue I've been running into in the last like month is that, like, I'm finding my throat's been getting dry really quickly while doing these. Like, you've probably noticed in the last couple of recordings, right before I sign off, I start choking because my throat gets so fucking dry. I'm like literally like about to puke from how dry it is. I don't know why. Only recently. I've never had this issue before, so maybe that's just early signs I was getting this stupid sickness, because of course I picked it up from my mom. Classic. You always get it. I swear I always get sick from my parents. I never get sick from anything else. I work at a public facility too, but we take cleanliness pretty seriously, so I guess it just never comes up. I've never been sick from the facility. I always end up getting sick from my parents. Like, that's just how it goes. I mean, you know. It does make sense. They also work. It's funny because they also work at a place that takes cleanliness very seriously. They have to wear gloves to do all their work, like those whatchamacallit, like like I don't remember what they're called. What are they called? Nylon? That must be it. Nylon gloves. They have to wear like those kind of gloves to do anything. Basically, you can't get like skin oil on any of the stuff they work on. But so I've been. Just like, wait, where did this come from? Wow, is this the part where I just ramble on about random stuff? Yeah, I've been getting maybe my dry throat is just like, because the funny thing is I was sick like a month earlier too, and that was like a different one. I didn't get instead of getting a stuffy nose, instead I just got like a horrible one of the most painful headaches I've ever had, which it was its own kind of fun. Where I basically was just in bed for like 2 days straight, because like I could barely like think. It was just like it was so painful. But that was pretty much the only thing that made me sick. I wasn't sick in any other way. I wasn't even like tired. It was just like it hurt, so I just didn't want to do anything. So I've got my drink with me this time. Hopefully I don't get a dry throat from drinking this. If you don't mind the slurping, if you don't like slurping, I get it. It's funny, I think I mentioned this before, but like I noticed that in these things I tend to like I do that a lot more than I think I do. Like apparently I smack my lips a shit ton, and Like, it's funny, because when I hear other people do it, it irritates the shit out of me. But apparently I do it a lot too, and it's like, wow, how is that even a thing? I don't even, like, consciously do it. Ooh, a Noctowl. That's a pretty rare encounter, actually. But, like, under-leveled, because it evolves at level 20, which is kind of cool. I guess an Honor will Ice Punch it, and it's definitely not going to KO. Oh shit, it did. I guess the fact that it's so low level matters. Noctowl's got a hell of a ton of HP and special defense. And it's also Sunday, so you can pick up the magnet. Hell yeah, I don't even have any electric types, so... Not particularly useful, but I guess, actually thinking about it, I could have taught Jinx Thunder Punch. Maybe I should do that. Because none of these other guys are going to get electric moves. Maybe I'll actually go back and do that then, actually. It's kind of funny I'm going to go back right away, but we'll fight this psychic guy first. He has a drowsy. He says he's going to put you to sleep, and then, like, he's kind of an easy fight. Because, like I mentioned, like I'm sure I've mentioned plenty of times, AI have a lower chance to hit you with status moves. Because, like, they have an additional 25% chance for the move to just fail before they even, like, get a chance to use the move. That's why you'll see, like, it failed. Like, that's specifically what that means if you see that. You can probably tell my nose is stuffed, because, man, my voice sounds nasally. Hopefully not smacking my lips too much. Fuck. Can't believe I was doing that so much. Oh yeah, I should pick up Rock Smash too, doy. I really like how Rock Smash is totally optional in this game. There's no plot required rocks to smash, but you do like get a lot of stuff from breaking rocks, which is kind of cool. And since we're here, I can cut down the tree over here and pick up, I think, is this a Hyper Potion? Or is this a Rare Candy? It's one of the two. Oh, I have no space? Oh yeah, all this stuff. I can also drop off Kenya. I actually have nothing to really use this stuff on, so I guess I'll just come back in a sec here. Let's go drop off Kenya first. I could keep Kenya. Actually, I should keep Kenya. That's a good idea because it's better for the purposes of like whatchamacallit, for the whatchamacallit, the gamble. What's it called? The lottery. Jeez. We will drop Kenya off because he has a different ID than me, and we'll pick up, I guess. I was almost about to be like, oh, let's do Togepi. If you get rid of this Togepi, you're boned, basically. It's funny, I guess I'll get rid of Pinsir. Screw it. My boy can have a Pinsir. Oh, I should, put the mail back on. Mail's a little clunky in this game, but I do appreciate for, what it is. By the way, I'm not sure how this mail quest works. I'm not sure how you can screw yourself. I'm not sure if you put the mail in your bag, is it impossible to complete this and are you just boned at that point? Or can you just find someone else with, like, does any mail work? Do you need to have someone whose name is Randy send a mail? Like, how does this work? I don't know. He gives us Nightmare. Nightmare is not particularly useful in-game. I feel like just because, like, usually, like, if you're putting something to sleep, you can just beat it up anyways. But it's actually surprisingly, like, decently, like, it has a niche and competitive in Gen 2 because Rest is so common, right? Because everything can run Rust Sleep Talk. So, like, anything that's decently bulky in Gen 2 can usually run Sleep Talk pretty well, which means a lot of stuff runs sleep, and being able to punish sleep by just putting them in under a Nightmare and do fixed damage in a game where everything's really bulky, not bad. Because, like, if they're asleep, right, if you predict a rest, then you get like a free 25% off, and it's another one of those things that, like, it generally forces a switch. And while that doesn't necessarily mean like you're gonna get anything like particularly great out of it, the fact that you're forcing a switch, I mean, and if they like, especially later in the game when they don't have as many options, right? That's a big thing. Is forcing switches isn't a big deal in competitive generally early on in a match, but once they start taking out Pokemon, it's like you have less options, and then all of a sudden it's like you might potentially be stuck in a situation where you really don't have anything good to switch into something, and that's when you start to get really like boned. So you, I'm trying to think. I might as well sell these potions because they're not particularly useful anymore. Ugh. I've just swallowed a bunch of snot. Congratulations, me. I'm gonna be choking that back up later. But I did not want to, like, go clean it right now. I swear, Kleenexes are like the most useless thing. I don't know how anyone can get any use out of Kleenexes. It's like, oh yeah, let me just, you know, stand by the Kleenex box for like hours on end. Because like, there's no way. You blow your nose, it does not have to blow your nose once. You blow your nose once and you'll be back in like, you know, 5 minutes. I guess I'll keep the gold bear because it's not like I have anything else. I can give it to someone. Like, it might be useful for the Morty fights. I could see it because I don't really have any good Pokemon for Morty. Like, my best Pokemon is like my best two are Dunsparce and Onyx. I'll pick up another Process Cure while I'm here. Oh, you know what? I totally realized. You know what? I just forgot. I realized I forgot. I never picked up the radio card. We should do that too. Oh. Okay. It's funny because I think if you go fight him right now, he'd still be like level 3. I forget when. It's a little different but I think the first major like trainers get upgraded is when you like clear the radio tower. Once you clear the radio tower, a lot of trainers get stronger in their rematch fights. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, I never talked about the twins. Oh, I guess we'll pick up the protein too. Why not? Actually, it's an HP up, right? Yeah. A lot of people forget to pick that up because you get 2 rewards from this, which is kind of nice. I guess I'll give it to Onyx because Onyx probably has like the lowest health. Oh yeah, and Thunder Punch too. I guess we'll grab that too. Ugh. Return. So I'll talk about Return, I guess. Return is... Did it just change to Monday? Yeah, just. Return is like one of those things that like they implemented it as just like this is a move, and it makes perfect sense for a single player because it's very like it's cool to have a move that like essentially gets more powerful as you like progress through the game on your Pokemon, generally speaking. Ironically, Frustration is very much the opposite in that, and that is a move that is impossible to use in a playthrough because you're constantly making your Pokemon like you, so it just gets worse and worse. Like, it's impossible, basically, to do a proper playthrough using Frustration, you know what I mean? It just don't work like that. But the problem with Return in competitive, and why I'm kind of glad, I think they got rid of it, right? In the newer games, and I'm glad they did. Because, like, Return is basically just... Like, it is stupidly strong at max power, right? It's 102 power at max friendship, right? And, like, the problem is that means that every normal type move ever has to compete with that. And that really does happen a lot. Like, there are basically 3 normal type moves you see get used in Gen 2, for example. Which is Body Slam, Return, and Double Edge. Those are basically the only 3 that ever really get run. Because they're just, like, the best of the... and, even then, Return is... Like, it's, like, the best all-rounder. Because it's just really strong. Like, Body Slam is nice. Actually, did I ever talk to Buena? I should do that, because I might pick up some of her stuff. I don't remember if I did this or not. I guess we'll find out right now. Here you go. Point is quite lucrative if you bother with it. Right? Because you can get, like, only... You do her radio show 3 times, you get a nugget or a rare candy. 5 times for a vitamin. It's like, this is actually, like, stupidly cheap. Like, a full restore for 2? This early on? Like, it just means, like, as long as you're playing, you know, you play a little bit every day, you can get points here pretty quickly. Like, it's very lucrative. But, like, yeah, like... It's basically just like Body Slam is fantastic, like, and we all know how good Body Slam is. So the fact that Return is like a contender with it is like just shows you how good Return is. Like Body Slam is like 85 power versus Return's 102 power, but the Body Slam obviously has the 30% chance to spread paralysis, which is just insanely good. And then Double Edge just has that raw 120 power. And it's still perfectly accurate in exchange, you know, for some recoil damage. But in Gen 2, it's only a quarter, so it's not as bad. I think is it Gen 4 that bumps up to a third? It might actually be already in Gen 3, but I don't remember. I think I talked about this in the Rando run, but a fun fact about these twins is that this area actually has too many sprites for the game to be able to load them all at once. Let me take a drink because I already feel my throat getting dry because I'm talking so much. There's too many sprites to load in, so this game actually has what's called variable sprites, where when a flag is set, the game can like on the fly change what sprites are loaded for like a certain area. And in this case, it's the Sudowoodo flag. Once you beat, or I guess once you make Sudowoodo run away or whatever, get rid of it. It changes all of the Sudowoodo sprites to twins. And if you come here, so if you use a walk through walls cheat to walk up here, instead of 2 little red girls, it's 2 red Sudowoodo trees, which is kind of a funny thing. Dang it. Oh yeah, I bought the TM and I never taught it. I don't remember if Smoochum can learn. I think it can. The only thing it can't learn as a Smoochum is Lovely Kiss. Here's Bill. I guess I could pick up an Eevee, but I don't quite feel like it. I mean, I guess I could. Like, if I was gonna get an Eevee, I'd get either, like, I'd do one of the ones you don't usually get, which is, like, you either do Jolteon or Flareon, because I feel like most people, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get either Espeon or Umbreon, because those are the ones you naturally get in Gold, Silver, because you can't get stones until post-game, obviously. By default, unless you get lucky with Mystery Gift. And then, this game makes it a little easier to get stones, but I feel like... I guess to be fair, you can get Fire Stones before the other ones. Like, I forget, like, you can't get the Water Stone until you get over here, which you can't actually do right now. I guess if I really wanted to. I might as well pick these up on here, right? Because you can go through Mount Mortar without Surf, right? Which is a funny little quirk. I call that a quirk, but that's just how it works. Nothing blocking you. It's just a little more annoying. I think I'll make this a short part, because it is a little late for me. Like, you can see the time. It's, you know, it's past midnight already, and I am still sick, so I don't want to make these super long. I mean, we did some stuff. I said some words. We got Smoochum. I guess I'll pick up, I should put, not Kenya. I'm gonna put Water Guy back in my party, because I'll start getting Water TM soon. I guess you don't... I mean, I guess, whatever, we'll just put Poliwag in here. If I want to change to Kenya, I can just change to Kenya. I guess we'll do the Kimono Girls, at least. Because, you know, for obvious reasons. Getting getting Surf is hell. Like, Surf is insane in this game. Not only are you getting Surf before the 4th gym, but you're getting it before the 4th gym in a game where the 4th gym is only like in the mid-20s, right? And Surf is a 95 power in this game. It's like really good. Like water types are already really good, and in this game they're on a whole fucking other level. Like getting Surf before the 4th gym, when your Pokemon are like in the low 20s, maybe even like high teens still, is insane. Like Crocodile has such a good time in this game, even though its special attack isn't that great. Just because it gets Surf so early. I'm using Headbutt here because I think Water Gun will probably actually do less damage to Flareon. Yeah, you can see like Flareon's special defense is like what, 105? It's very tanky on the special side, so you want to hit with the physical attacks. Actually, one thing I will bring up, this is something interesting I heard somebody mention the other day. You spend shopping, I'll check my PC later, sure. This is something interesting I heard somebody bring up while talking about the physical special split and whatnot, and it's something that came up in regards to Gen 3, which is that Gen 3 is actually quite interesting because I've mentioned, right, that, I mean, everyone knows this, right, Gen 3 doesn't have a physical special split yet, but it does have EVs and, like, natures and stuff, so it's like this weird in-between. Like, I never really even thought about it, but, like, that does actually make for, like, an interesting... Like, it's like an interesting, like, both worlds situation where you still have, like, the more, like, customizable aspect of future games, but you don't have the physical special split yet, and that's interesting, actually. Because that's pretty unique. That's probably why you get. That's maybe that is part of the reason why Gen 3 has so many wacky Pokemon you can run. We'll Screech you because Emran is hella tanky. This will definitely help. Tss. Ouch! Nice crit, buddy. Ouch. Okay, please get one flinch. Or we could just crit, that works too. But yeah, like I think that's not something I never even really thought about the gravitas of, Like that is an interesting thing about Gen 3. That makes Gen 3 very like unique. Because Gen 1 and 2 are both pretty similar in that aspect, and then obviously every game after Gen 4 just has all that stuff. But Gen 3 is the only one that has both natures and EVs and stuff, but also doesn't have the physical special split. That's something that's interesting. I still think the Komodo girls are cute. I am kind of glad what they did with them in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Like, I do think it's a little annoying that it's just extra cutscenes. Like, I'm not a fan of of course they did, where Lugia or Ho-Oh are forced encounters in the remakes. Like, that's such a classic trend that they force on you, because that is one of the things that's nice about Gen 2, is Gen 2 is very, like, open-ended and doesn't really, like, force you into anything. This lady is gonna be... It'll be Jolteon, I think, right? I haven't seen Jolteon yet. I do appreciate that they just let you see all the evolutions here. It's nice too because you see Espeon and Umbreon, so you know that they're in the game. And you know, because of the other three, that you instantly know that they're also related, which is kind of a nice thing. And you don't have to like connect the dots. It's something that's just organically shown to the player. Especially because you can get Eevee like right now, right? You can get it from what's his face from Bill if you just go back to Goldenrod, which is nice. You might even come here and then go back just to check on him or something. Who knows what you'll do, right? Either way, this probably doesn't KO. Dig is very weak in this game. I think a lot of people forget that it's only 60 power in Gen 2 and 3. It was it's funny, in Gen 1, it's like, holy shit, it's 100 power. For some reason, they made it super strong. Alright, I'm just gonna switch. Screw this guy. And then Gen 3 or Gen 2, I feel like they overcorrected to make it only 60 power. And then it feels like finally by Gen 4, they're like, alright, we can make it 80 power, that's fine. Look at that EXP from Rocky. Harden. He had Harden at 23, jeez. Move pools, am I right? I mean, I say that, but I do like the more limited move pools, the older games at times. Like, I think it's just one of those aspects of power creep that does make, like, move pool is a legitimately, like, important, like, there's a lot of Pokemon in older games that can kind of get by even with bad stats just by having good move pools. Like, I always like to point out how Electabuzz's stats aren't even like that, like, its stats are pretty low, generally speaking, compared to a lot of other stuff. Especially, like Magmar, Electabuzz, and Jinx all have really bad, like, defense, and even their HP isn't great, so, like, they're pretty frail. And, like, especially in Gen 1, when their special stats hadn't been boosted yet. But they're still, like, decent because they have great move pools, especially Electabuzz, because he gets the Ice Punch and Fire Punch and Psychic, you know, like, and then Gen 2 gives him Cross Chop. Like, he can kind of get by just because his move pool is cracked. And that's, like, a benefit he gets over other electric types, despite the worst stats. Like, Raichu is basically just better Electabuzz in terms of stats, but Raichu loses at a move pool unless you get, like, a Surf Raichu. And even with Surf, Electabuzz still gets Fire and Ice Punch over that, so that's a nice thing it has going for it. I do love that critique. I really love the tower stuff. Like, I think Gen 2, like world building is super underestimated, or like underappreciated. Like, I feel like a lot of the problems I feel like in this game are because, ironically, because they lean too hard into making the world feel grounded at times. That's why Kanto's so easy, right? That's the classic thing, because you just beat Champion Lance. How much sense would it make to go to Kanto and then fight stronger trainers? It's like, well, fuck, I just beat the champion. How come he wasn't the strongest guy, you know? It's an unfortunate thing, and Heart Gold Soul Silver kind of fixed this by just making Lance get stronger eventually. Although that's even still, that doesn't really make sense, because it's like, why is he so much stronger? Like, he's the champion, but apparently he wasn't trying very hard, I guess, you know what I mean? This is one thing that they made mandatory in this game. I guess we'll do this too, fuck it. They made Burnt Tower mandatory in this game, but I don't really mind that as much because, like, it's kind of like a big thing, and it kind of sucked that in Gold Silver, if you weren't, like, looking around, you might just miss out on the bloody legendaries that are, like, already, like, the thing is that they're already so hard to get, right? It's not like you come here and you get a legendary, right? Like, bloody, you have to, this is just to unlock them showing up. So, like, it's nice to at least make this mandatory, and they, like, tie the rival into it. And you can tell that they just, like, they didn't, like, rework it too much, because this game still has a thing where it sets this rival fight as completed when you beat the rival at, in the Goldenrod Underground. Because in Gold Silver, they did that because this fight was optional, right? He'd fight you as soon as you walked in here, but obviously in Gold Silver, you know, he's optional, whereas here he's mandatory, but they left the flag sets, like, is still in the game. It obviously does not matter in the slightest. It's just a, like, they could save, like, what, like a byte of space or something like that. Like, they wouldn't save much space. Crystal's already, like despite what people say about the Gold Silver games struggling because of file size, the games are actually not that filled. There's actually a fair bit of empty space in these ROMs still. I can mostly, wow, jeez. I was gonna say I can mostly beat this guy, but I guess if I get, I'm gonna reset, because that is Hocus Pocus. Like, one thing to get paralysis on the first turn, but man, fully paired too. Lick is only like 30%. It's not that high. Actually, it might even be only 20%. I don't remember, but jeez. I don't want Smooch's first major fight to be just, oh, fully parried and then it dies. That's bogus, dude. Oh, that makes things way easier. Nice. I do think it's funny that they give him an underleveled Haunter here. Because, and this is one of those things, in the remake, they actually made it so that, he has a Ghastly here instead. They got really weird with the rival. Like, the few things they changed in Heart Gold Silver in regards to trainers Pokemon is that they, like, made the rival weaker because they got rid of his, like his Haunter as a Ghastly in this fight. And in the Underground fight, if he has Quilava, it doesn't evolve into Typhlosion like the other two starters will. Like, they won't be... They won't be like Fralgate or Meganium. And that's actually something that's reflected in the original game. But I think it's a little different in the remake where, like, the levels aren't... I guess we'll find out in a sec. Because I picked Totodile. I'll actually look that up later when we get there. Because I know there's some difference there. Because I think in the original game, all of the levels of his Pokemon are, like, a little higher. They're, like, 2 levels higher all around. Because he only has a Quilava. For some reason, they actually cared about the starter. I don't know if that's because they didn't want people to think that, like, specifically for Quilava, it can evolve at 34 or something. I don't know why they bothered there and not here, but it's weird. They bothered sometimes, but not other. I don't know. I guess we'll change to Medusa. Why not? Because we're gonna get... Yeah, Onyx would have, like, uber died to this. Nice crit. Hey! Revenge! I mean, he might not even get to attack at this rate. Take this. Oh! Is he gonna get a crit again? Am I gonna get my comeuppance? I wouldn't have even been mad. That's what I get for resetting, right? Jeez, Rocky, calm down. Zubat. I guess we'll change to Quillfish just so I can see Quillfish use Surf for the first time. Quillfish matches up decently against Zubat anyways. Alright, we're gonna put this at the top. I guess we'll put Spikes at the bottom, and here we go. Look at that fast Surf animation. That's a big thing with Fast ROM is Surf is much faster, because in the original game, the main reason why it's so slow is because the move is just really laggy. Because it's creating, like, multiple Surf sprites, and creating, like, that distortion effect, like, underneath the Surf sprites. Like, it's actually quite a slow move because of that. Because it's putting a lot on screen. You're never gonna catch a legendary Pokemon anyways. And, you know, in classic old game fashion, you fall down to a hole. They really toned that down. I feel like the last game where you could ever fall down a hole was Gen 4, right? In the remakes? Was there ever a game after that where they let you fall down holes like that? They like... It's never had that again. Here's a fun fact, too. You can skip talking to Eugene here. Because you can just be poisoned, right? And then if your last Pokemon's poisoned, or you just faint from the wild Pokemon, or you can even escape rope out. And then you can talk to... You can actually come back here, because Eugene won't leave until you talk to him, right? So if you escape rope out, if you leave here in any way, and then you come talk to him, they actually thought of that. And he'll actually, like, walk here... He'll leave differently, because he can't walk through you, right? Like, I'm almost surprised they didn't, like, prevent stuff like that. Like, they could have done what Earthbound does, where, Earthbound has, like, I don't remember what the official name is, but it has, like, a safety flag where it, like, disables random encounters, and... Or I guess that game doesn't have random encounters, you know what I mean? It disables the stuff that just runs around randomly and, like, fights you. You know, like, overworld encounters, I guess. Like, oh, isn't it called the Overworld Suppression Flag or something like that? Overworld Status Suppression Flag or something like that. OSS flag. I think that's what, like, the I don't know if that's what I doubt that's what the devs called it, but that's what like the official like fan term is, and it disables overworld encounters and it disables like status effect damage like from poison. So they could have probably implemented something like that in this game, where it's just like until you talk to Yuzin, you can't leave because there's no encounters, you can't get poisoned, and let's say it also disables escape ropes, like just to make sure you have to see story stuff. But they decided to just, you know, account for that and just let you talk to him from behind. I don't remember if anything changes. I don't remember if anything breaks. Like, I don't remember if they actually, like, check for that in the... any of the later using encounters. But, it is a thing. Alright, I think that's definitely it for this part. I am sick as a dog. I might as well. I'm, like, starting to sweat. Alright, that'll be it for this part. See you guys later.